Today, we're starting a relationship series, and the first topic is caught up. And I'm just so thankful. What? You didn't think it was going to be titled that? Oh, okay. So I'm so happy that it's titled Caught Up, because God really put this on my heart to talk about this and to do a quick little series, because I'll tell y'all why in a second, but I do want to introduce, because we do have two new people here. My name, of course, y'all know, is Asia, but they don't know Asia. And I am the founder, basically, of Girls Room. And basically, it's a Bible study, and it's also an online ministry. And the purpose of it is to discover your purpose, embrace your purity, and inspire other people. So I just believe in us just getting together. It's accountability. If you feeling down, I want you to be able to come in this room and leave feeling a totally different way. I want you to feel sharpened. I want you to feel free. I want you to feel like that you were able to get some stuff off your chest, but not be judged, because we all going through things. And that's one thing I always like to voice, is that each and every last one of us are going through something. It may be a little bit different, but we all going through something, and I feel like we can share and, you know, help the next person. So let's get into the first thing that I like to do. It's called Who Am I? And you just kind of repeat after me, just, you know, making a declaration over your life. So repeat after me. Who am I?
Who am I?
I am a child of God.
I am a child of God.
I am a woman of God.
I am a woman of God.
I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
I am a conqueror.
I am a conqueror.
I am devoted.
I am devoted.
I am ambitious.
I am ambitious.
I am strength.
I am strength.
I am love.
I am love.
I am obedience.
I am obedience.
I am joy.
I am joy.
I am peace.
I am peace.
I am purity.
I am purity.
I am purpose.
I am purpose.
I am a woman of God.
I am a woman of God.
And now we're going to pray, and then we're going to get it going. So just bow your head and close your eyes. I need to lift my seat up some, because... Okay, bow your head, close your eyes. Heavenly Father, I thank you for today, God. I thank you for waking each and every woman here up this morning, God. I thank you for waking up the ladies that will be watching this, Lord. I thank you for today. I pray that our hearts are open, God. Our ears are open to receive the message that you have for us today, Lord. I pray that you speak through me. I pray that my words are yours and not my own. And I just pray that after today, we ain't going to be caught up on nothing but you. We're going to be focused on you, and we're going to be so encouraged to do your work and to inspire other people to do your work as well. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Okay, ladies, so let me get comfortable, because, honey, this is a topic, okay? So, oh, Janae. Hey, sis.
Hey.
Right in time. So, why I chose to do a relationship series, and why I feel that God picked the perfect time for us to discuss this, is because it's finna be holiday season. And I know, because the holiday is coming up, that puts so much pressure on us women to want to have a little man, have a little friend, you know, nothing too serious, but something. You know, just a little guy, so he can come over for Thanksgiving. Because, you know, we get into that age where people, you know, you go to Thanksgiving by yourself. Everybody like, where your man at? You know what I'm saying? Where your boo at? You dating somebody? I mean, you's a young girl. You still single? Like, all of them quit. Like, you know, you cute. Like, what's, you know, they want to dissect what's wrong with you. You know, sometimes they may even ask nowadays, you know, you like a little girl or something? Like, now, you know, they assume because you're single, you like women. You know, so that's neither here or there, but it's just, you know, it's that pressure. And I think that the pressure of the holidays, and then Christmas time coming up, so everybody want a little gift, you know, everybody want their little boo to buy them some, or y'all going out Christmas shopping for your man, or, you know, unless you selfish and you don't do that, but, you know, you might not be selfish and you might buy gifts. And then it's New Year's Eve, so, you know, everybody want to be with their man at 11:59. So I just think it's just so much pressure on that with the holidays coming up. And I'm just like, I cannot let my sisters be out here getting caught up in these traps because they want to take somebody for the holidays. They want a gift, or they just feeling kind of lonely and want to show somebody off to their family. Or it could be a situation where you've been caught up before. I know I've been caught up, and basically what it means to be caught up is that You was liking somebody that you was never supposed to be liking. You was in a relationship with somebody that you was never supposed to be liking. You got physically attached to somebody, mentally attached, emotionally attached to somebody you was never supposed to even be attached with, and now you caught up. And now you caught up meaning that you can't get out of it. Now you caught up because you so emotionally invested in this person because you ain't spent so much time with them. You so mentally invested with this person. And then worst of all, you so physically invested in this person. And then worst of all, what you should be invested with this person is spiritually, that's absent. So now you saying, well, God, is it you? Or is it me? Like, God, this really supposed to be my husband. This really, and now you're just completely confused. So we're going to dissect some things and we're going to talk about each one that I named. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is how, number one, the first way you can be caught up is mentally caught up. I think that's the start of it. And so how the mentally caught up works is if, you know, you meet a guy, you feeling him, you know, that's your guy. You see him out however y'all meet, or it could be a situation that was similar to mine. Y'all could just be friends. You know what I'm saying? They could be your friend. It could be somebody you knew, somebody that you never thought that you would even go down that road with. It could be just, you know, somebody you was not even checking for. Like, it can come in any way possible. But you start feeling this person. And I know for me, if I like you, like if I'm feeling you, you know, I can ignore some of the red flags that I should have ignored initially. And that's going to bring us to our first scripture that I want you guys to write down. It's 2 Corinthians 6:14. It says, do not be yoked together with unbelievers, for what do righteousness and wickedness have in common? Or what fellowship can light have with darkness? And I always have to remind myself of that scripture, because I think that if I was to constantly meditate on that during the time that I was caught up, I would have never even got caught up, because I knew first off what he was. I knew first off what he was bringing to the table. I knew first off you wasn't going to church. I knew that before, you know what I'm saying, I even allowed myself to go there. I knew, but, you know, you feeling them. They got a great personality. You know, they nice. They take you out. They do all the things that we think that a man is supposed to do, but we ignoring the red flags. The first red flag we ignoring is, okay, well, what's your relationship with God like? Or the simple question, you can ask them, do you go to church? Man, no, I don't go to church. Church is within, you know, I do church from at home. You know, I don't got to go to church to believe in God. You know how they be coming with these type of excuses. And we be like, well, since I'm going to church, I know he going to start going to church. So that's the first red flag we ignore. So mentally, we telling ourselves, well, I get him to start going to church. But sis, you want a man that's already going. You want a man that actively already has their relationship with God, and you come in and make it 10 times better. I'm not, and I want to throw out a disclaimer for you guys and also the people that will be watching. I don't think that anybody's ever going to be perfect, but I do think that it is certain things that a man should come with, just like it's certain things that we as women should come with, and we should bend our standards for that. So the guy comes, you know, you like, okay, I'm ignore that red flag. Like, okay, cool. Then you tell him like, well, you know, I've been trying to get my life together with God, you know, trying to get my life together with him. I've been trying to walk with him. So, you know, I'm thinking about, you know, being celibate. Like, that's something I want to do. And he like, shoot, you know, I mean, you know, he hit you with that, you know, he hit you with that. And now you just like, okay, well, I know if I hold out, you know, he really liking me. So that's just what's going to happen. Like, we just ain't going to do it. Mentally telling yourself that. And one thing that we talked about 3 weeks ago is hold on, y'all, looking at mine. The main thing, and this is me, y'all, this is God speaking to me, where you mentally get caught up. You start focusing on what potential over what's being presented. And me, I am a big follower of that, because I see the good in a lot of men. You know, you could be the man that's out here, you know, you could be out here messing with everybody, but I'm like, you know what, he's still a good person. You know, he a good person. Like, he mean well, he got mama issues. Like, you just see all of these things in him, because I think that women, we naturally can see the best in men. Like, we can see a man that's so broken and so beat up and so all of this, but we still see that good in him, because we just like, well, if he get a little bit of me, he ain't gonna be like this no more. Maybe once he gets some Asia, get a touch of Asia, he gonna be saved and sanctified. And that's why I be depressed, sad, and looking silly, because I didn't invested so much time thinking I could save this man, and invested so much in my mental space thinking that I can save him. But only person that can change this man is God. You can assist, but God change hearts. We might change minds, but God changes hearts. And you want your man heart to be changed, okay? So back to what I was saying. So you getting mentally caught up. So you tell yourself, well, I guess it's cool for me to still be with him. I guess it's cool for me to still talk to him because I know he gonna grow. I know he gonna do better. You know, I'ma grow. You know what I'm saying? We can grow spiritually together. You know, we can, and that's the killer when you say you want to grow spiritually together with somebody who has no desire to grow spiritually with you or even with himself.
Yeah.
He has no desire to even grow on his own, because if he did, he would have been growing on his own before you even came into the picture. He would have been taking steps to grow spiritually. So, you know, you just like, you're telling yourself this. So now you've mentally caught up because you've convinced yourself that it is okay to continue to pursue this man. You've convinced yourself, you super caught up on the potential. And like I said, this ain't pointing no finger, because in my situationship that I was, you know, in with myself, because I wasn't in it with nobody else, I was in it with myself, because my mind created illusions that it was something that it wasn't. You know, I would just, another example of being mentally caught up, I would just envision certain things like, wow, we would look so good together. I'd just be sitting back just like, wow, like, and I ain't crazy though, you feel me? But that's crazy when you think about it. I'd just be sitting back like, wow, we would just look so good together. Boy, when we post our first pic, boy, they gonna be like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they gonna be shocked. Like, this is all the things that us women, we think about. And this is all what's driving us to stay caught up, because we telling ourselves that we envisioning all of this. So mentally we so invested in this person, and to be honest, he might have told you from the beginning that he wasn't even looking for nothing. He could have told most guys, you know, and I have a lot of male friends, most of them be like, well, you know, I ain't really looking for nothing like that. Like, I ain't really on no relationship thing right now. Like, I'm just, you know, but we can be cool. But just like men, they tell you that, but their actions act a different way. They treat you like your girlfriend, but you're really not his girlfriend. Because in his mind, with his mental, you're not his girlfriend. But in your mind, you think you finna start doing girlfriend stuff, and that's finna change his mind. So now you mentally caught up completely, because you've convinced yourself that this situation is something that it is not. I convinced myself that it was something, and it was not. I ignored what you told me. You told me what it was, but I'm just like, nah, he don't know what he's talking about. He ain't really seen the fool me yet. He don't know what I can do just yet. You feel me? Like he don't know. He don't know I'm finna write him a whole life plan now. He don't know. Like, he just saying this now, but he don't know at all. So mentally caught up. So that's the first way. Y'all following me? Okay, so you get mentally caught up, you feeling them, your mind, you and just gave yourself the go to go. And God is just like, my daughter, I gave you the signs, I gave you the red flags. Like, if you would have just listened to me, if you would have just, you know, that feeling where you, this is what I always say, if you gotta ask, is it God? It probably ain't God. Because I feel like you have such a different type of peace when you know it's God. And because when you know it's God, you ain't going to even ask. You just say, thank you, God. Like, I know that was you. Like, you don't even ask. But when you got to ask, God, is this you? That's a red flag that it's probably not. So we at the point now, I'm at the point now where I'm mentally caught up. I'm at the point now where I'm putting his potential over what he presented to me. He bringing me bare minimum, but in my head, I'm making it like it's just the absolute, just the most. So the next thing we're going to get into, so first one is mentally caught up. The second one, after you mentally caught up, what else do you think comes next? What's the next type of caught up? Physically caught up. And this is like the super glue, y'all. The mental is putting the paper against paper, but the physical is adding the glue to the paper. So now that brings in that tie. So y'all have sex, and I think that I hate that we live in a generation that downplays sex the way we do. We look at it as it's just sex, or it's just a quick get off, or whatever you want to call it. We look at it like that, but it's not just that. Sex is the combining of two individuals. That's why when they say when you get married, you become one. Sex is so big. If it wasn't big, God wouldn't have told us to wait to not have sex, because God, anything that God puts a boundary on, it's a reason for that. But we just have made sex seem like it's just something you have to do, and that's why so many of us are caught up, and that's why so many of us can't get out these bad situationships. Like, first off, you was already mentally caught up, but mentally, okay, that's one thing, you could bounce back from that, like, it's possible. But once you add that physical to it, it's on a whole nother level. So now your attachment, it went deeper. So now you feeling like, now I really can't let go. I'm real caught up now. I can't let go of this man. Like, I can't let go of this situation because I done gave him a piece of me. Now you feel like you all in, because that sex, like, once you start having sex, it's just like that it's like the icing on the cake. So now you really expecting more results. Now you really feeling like, okay, well, we doing this. Like, I'm your girlfriend now, but he's still in the same place. He's still in the same, I ain't know nothing like that. I ain't trying to take it nowhere there. You know, trying to take it there. His mind is still in the same area. But you feel like because y'all had sex, that y'all supposed to be together, and now you hurt. Now you experiencing some emotions you ain't never experienced before. Now you tripping. Now you caught up where it's like, who you texting? Who calling us? The man phone ring, you looking over. Now it's let me see your phone. Now it's he ain't answering, let me pop up. You feel me? Now you tripping. Now it's them our friends. Them, you know, now it's just this possessive spirit that you once ain't have, but when you start having sex, now you got that possessive spirit. Now you feeling territorial over God's son that don't even belong to you. Like, that ain't just like you don't belong to him, he don't belong to you. So now you feeling territorial over that. That's because, like I say, we downplay sex so much. That's because you just gave somebody a piece of you. That's because you just became one with someone without even making the vow to God to become one. So now it's just all messed up. So now you have a soul tie. Now you getting really caught up. And now when you become sexually active with somebody, that makes it harder to let go. You know, this is the realest quote I've ever heard, how good sex keeps together bad things. So now that's another reason that's holding you. So now it's just like, and I'm going to keep it raw. Yeah, I know I'm going to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? So now you just stuck with this person. You mentally caught up and you physically caught up. Now, which I think come next after that. Now you emotionally caught up. Because sex brings emotions. Like, you know, I always, you know how some people be like, well, I can have sex with no emotions. I do this and I be good. Any person that can have sex without emotions is problematic. You know, people always say that men can do it. Men think they can do it. But that's why men out here going around hurting all of these women, because they're broken. So y'all out here thinking y'all can just have sex with all these different women, spreading all these demons and spreading all this stuff. So y'all really messed up, and y'all wondering why y'all can't settle down, and you wondering why every time you get a good woman, you got to step back, and every time you get a good woman, you end up hurting her. That's because you hurt, and hurt people hurt people. It's like an infection. Like, how can, you know, if I pick up shattered glass, I'm going to cut myself. And that's what all of these men are doing. They're going around. So people, I hate that all these memes on Facebook always try to make it seem like men are the only, like men can go out here and have sex with no feelings and just be out here having sex with all these people. The one thing they're doing is passing STDs. Another thing they're doing is passing demons to other people. And that's why the world look the way it is and ain't nobody getting married. But anyways, so now you're emotionally attached to this man. And in Song of Solomon, Solomon says, I think it's 8 verses 4. Don't quote me, but I'm almost positive. Song of Solomon 8 and 4. And he's saying, my daughters of Jerusalem, don't awaken love too soon. And I am always reminded of that, because I think that we do awaken love too soon. Like, we want love so bad. We want it so bad that we're willing to get caught up in these situations that God never designed for us to get caught up. So now you're emotionally tied, torn between should I stay or should I go. And that's what the emotions do with you. You torn because now you mentally invested in him, you physically invested in him, and now you emotionally invested in him. You feel like you put so much time into the situation. You feel like, well, we've been friends for so long. Like, I've been friends with this dude for a long time. Like, am I willing to give up this friendship? Am I willing to give up somebody who I rock with so much? Like, we can make it happen. Like, you know, we can do all of this. Like, you try to make it work, but it's just like you can't put together what God never meant to be formed. You can force it all you want, but you the one that's going to end up being hurt. And I understand that, y'all. Like, I went through a period of time of trying to force something, just thinking that it was going to happen and just wishing that it would happen. And I was the one that was getting hurt at the end. I'm the one constantly getting disappointed. He ain't being disappointed. I'm the one that's being hurt, you know. And I just thank God that with me, it wasn't that physical attachment. It was the mental, and you know what I'm saying? Of course, my emotions were involved, but I'm just so thankful that it wasn't the physical, because Lord, if it was the physical, honey, bust the windows out the car. No, I'm just kidding. I ain't crazy, but heck, I don't know what I would have done, because I felt like I was kind of, you know, I was kind of deep, and we ain't do nothing. So I couldn't imagine adding the sex to it, and honey, I would have had to call my girl right here, okay? Because look, okay? But I'm just saying, so I just feel like I just thank God, and this is just a side note, I thank God for, I'm happy that I went through the situation that I did. Of course, if I can go back, I probably would change some things. But I think for me, going through the situationship that I did, it allows me to relate to y'all and so many women so much better, because I know how that feel to get that heart broken like that. It's a feeling, it's like in your stomach, like you feel it, like it make you feel sick almost. And it's just, I had never experienced it before, but I know how women feel. So it's just like, God, I thank you for, if I would have listened to you, I probably wouldn't have went through it. But I'm so thankful that you're allowing this situation to work out for the greater of your good. Like, yes, I was disobedient in liking this person, but you've turned it around where I can talk about it openly, because true freedom is being able to talk about it. Like, I'm so set free from that person. I'm so set free from that mental tie with him, and that emotional tie, that I can talk about it to y'all and we can have some conversations, and hopefully this can help y'all grow. So I don't want to make it seem like I'm talking from a situation that I don't know. I'm talking from a situation of being mentally tied to somebody. I'm speaking from a situation of being so caught up on a man's potential that I ignored literally every red flag that was in front of my face. And even the red flags that was in front of my face, I mean, y'all, it could have been a red flag and I swore it was blue. It could have been a red flag and I'm going to call it a different color. I'm calling a different flag. It ain't no red flag. I'm going to be like, God, it ain't no flag. It's just like a little penalty or something. You know, it's something else. It ain't no flag though, but it's something else. Like, I'm calling it everything else, because when you that caught up with somebody, you're going to make whatever excuse. You're going to try to bargain with God. You're going to be like, okay, well, God, well, if we stop doing this, then maybe it can work. God, like, nah, you're going to have to separate with this person. I got to get him together individually, and I got to get you together individually, because y'all together, y'all ain't going to be able to do it. The temptation is too hard. And this is one thing, a side note I want to add. God is never going to send somebody in your life that's going to take you away from him. That is a complete contradiction. So God is never going to send a man in your life that will distract you from him, that will be an idol to you. God is not going to send that. God is not going to send you anybody that takes you away from Christ. So if you entertaining somebody right now, you feeling somebody, the number one way to know if he's for you is, does he distract you from God? What is his role with it? Does he distract you from it? Does he pull you away? Because only two ways. Either pulling you closer to God, or pulling you away. It ain't no, well, he ain't really doing nothing. Nothing is pulling you away. Nothing is nothing. He's doing nothing for your relationship with God. He's not watering you. He ain't sharpening you. You know, I always say, Lord, when you send me my husband, I don't want no man to tell me that I'm going to pray for you. No, pray for me over that phone. Like, pray for me right then and there. And that's something that I desire. So I know when I meet him, that's like one way that I always know. I'm like, you know what? I need you to pray for me. He's like, okay, I got you. I'm like, well, I'm waiting. Like, and he's like, nah, I don't pray on the phone. Well, bro, when you gonna pray? I need to hear it. I need you to speak over my life. When you gonna pray? No, we gonna pray right now. It ain't gotta be extravagant. You feel me? You ain't gotta start talking in tongues or anything. But I need you to pray right now. Pray over my life. Cause I don't care where we at. He can come in here right now and be like, I need you to pray for me. I'm like, okay, y'all, I'll be right back. Let me go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. So I want somebody to have that same passion for prayer and things like that. So that's a side note, and something that I always want you guys to know. If he pushes you away from Christ, that is a red flag. If he doesn't push you towards God, he's pushing you away from God. So back to it. You know, you're emotionally caught up, and it's just tough. Now you feel torn. You stuck between, should I stay or should I go? And I think that is the most awful part, because I feel like when you really love somebody, and it's not to say that you don't love this person. Like, love is a choice. So you know what I'm saying? Like, you could really love him. You could really be in love. However, it's just, you have to come down to the decision of, should I stay or should I go? And I know that feeling of, man, like, but then I think it's the worst sometimes, because you stuck with, I don't even think I can go a day without talking to you. Like, I don't even know how it would be without talking to you. Then you start thinking like that, like, what am I going to do? And that's going to bring me into my next point. So I talked about how you get mentally caught up, you get emotionally caught up, and you get physically caught up. And I put on here another way to get caught up, but we didn't get caught up this way, which is why we're so torn and why we having to choose. Is that the problem is that we didn't get spiritually caught up. Why is it that spiritually was the last thing on our list? Why is it that wasn't first? You know, I think that we always think that that's one of the things that we can find out later. Well, we'll get into that later. No, you got to get into that first. That's number one. That's what we got to get into right away. We got to get into spirituality. Like, where is he at? Because if y'all coming to Bible studies, if you watching this video, you are actively trying to get a better relationship with God. And we all got to start somewhere. Janae, you know, we all got to start somewhere. Like, when we met, you know where we was at. Like, Janae has grown tremendously, but she had to start somewhere. So if we're starting and we're taking the active steps, why don't we take that same standard into anybody that we're pursuing? Because it start off as it's just something to do. It's just for fun. But just for fun is how you get caught up. Because you're going to naturally start feeling that person. You're going to start ignoring the things that you should have never even went into that thing with. I know I was telling my mom, I was like, you know what? I feel like I'm getting tempted. I ain't finna get caught up because I got a lot of events coming up in October. I got to go to a wedding in Chillicothe or something. So you know that's like some little hick town or something. I got to go to a wedding. I got to go to our Black alumni. And then I'm going to... I want to go to this comedy show and all of this stuff that's coming up. I'm like, Mom, I need a little friend. I said, Mom, I need a little friend. I said, I can't be going all this stuff by myself because my homegirls, they do, doing whatever they're doing, like everybody. I was just like, I just need a little friend. But I'm just like, nah. I said, I ain't gonna fall in the trap because that little friend ain't worth turning into something else. You was just supposed to be my little friend I was supposed to be going places with. And now I'm in a situation that I can't let you go. Now I'm getting mentally attached to you. Now I'm opening the door for something that I was never supposed to open the door for. But it be them little situations like that. It be like the little holidays. Well, let me keep you around so we can go meet each other's family. I just want to go get a plate. That's it. Girl, I'm just trying to go get some food. But that food and open the door for now you having a sexual soul tie with a man that you was never even supposed to come in contact with. You got this sexual soul tie with this man that was just supposed to be left at what's up. Now it's being left at come through. Where you at? Come slide. You know what I'm saying? Now it is turned into a completely sexual relationship. And now you feeling him more. At first he was just for free food. Now you feel him. You feel me? First, that's how it was supposed to go. It was supposed to be a free food situation. It was just supposed to be like, I'm going to just see what's up. Like, he talks to all of these girls. Like, I'm going to just see. I ain't going to get caught up in him. I ain't going to do that. But you got caught up. Because you playing with fire. You playing with sin. You playing. Sin has no boundaries. You playing. We think that we so... I don't know why we think that we can just beat temptation all the time. Like, we can just keep battling with it and it ain't going to catch us up. Right. It will. So... I'm not going to have a problem without no solution. And this is just part one. So, we're doing this again next Wednesday. So, it's going to be a lot of solutions more into next week. But I said what you need to get caught up in is the question. Because we caught up. But what you need to be caught up in. And the first thing that you need to be caught up in is God. Gotta get caught up in God. Gotta get caught up in your prayer life. Gotta get caught up in telling God to release you from all of these people, all of these men that he never sent into your life. You gotta get caught up in, you know what, Lord, I want your will for my life. I don't want nothing that you ain't stamped or approved. Like, I don't want nothing, God. And if it's something that's in my life that right now that is not of you, God, open my eyes to see it. Let the signs be so clear that I will not get caught up, because I've been caught up before and it's a terrible feeling. I don't want to be caught up no more. I've been caught up in a situation where I was just so focused on his potential and not his presentation. Like, I've been in a situation like that. I've been in a situation of just being the come through text. I've been caught up like that where I really desired a really good relationship, but I couldn't get there, so I just settled for a sexual relationship. Like, I've been caught up in that where loving somebody and they out here cheating on me, but I love them so much and I just want to stick with them and work it out, but they out here doing God knows what with God knows who. So you've been caught up in that. So continuously ask God, like, I don't want that no more. Like, cut off my desire for that. Like, don't get me in no more caught up situations. Okay? So that's the first one. So another thing that you need to get caught up in is yourself. Janae said the realest thing, y'all. And she made this post in 2016 and she shared it. It says, guys, but when a situation happens and you get so caught up in a person, you almost lose yourself. It's almost like you got to kind of re-identify yourself, because now you're bringing things, because you're caught up, now you're bringing things back to yourself that you didn't have before. Now you bring in insecurities. You ain't never been insecure, but when a man don't make you feel secure and he out here doing God knows what and creating these trust issues and making you feel like it's your fault, he go cheat and then blame it on you. You know what I'm saying? You know, all of this stuff that he's doing, now you bringing back something. Now you don't know who you are. Now you like, well maybe I am crazy. Sis, you ain't crazy. That man told you was crazy. Life and death lies in the power of the tongue. So if you got somebody constantly telling you crazy, you tripping, something wrong with you this crazy word, you gonna start thinking that about yourself. You never called yourself crazy. You was never a crazy woman, and I cast that out. So if any man has ever said you was crazy, that is not something that you want to take on and carry with yourself, because now you carrying it into the next relationship. Now you carrying it into somebody that God sent for you, and you gonna tell him, well, you know I'm crazy. Huh? You gonna tell him that you crazy? Because this boy ain't told you was crazy. He told you was crazy based off things that he was doing wrong. So to take the blame off of him and to stop him from taking responsibility for what he's done, he telling you crazy. He telling you something wrong with you. You insecure. You tripping. He had told you so many lies about yourself, and you ain't believed it while you being caught up. Now you believing that, well, if I don't have sex with him, then he ain't gonna stay. Now you believe in that lie, that you gotta open your legs, that you gotta do this, and if you don't do this, that this man won't be here. You right, the wrong man won't be here, but the right man will be here. The right man ain't. He love that. That doesn't. You tell him you celibate, he gonna be like, me too. That's what you looking to hear. Me too. I'm trying to walk that walk too. I ain't perfect, you know. I ain't slipped up a few times, but I'm trying to do better. So maybe we can help each other. And how we help each other? Well, you text him, can I come through? No, I'm good. We need to meet out somewhere else. You need a man that's going to set them boundaries, because real men set boundaries. Okay? My man setting boundaries right now, okay? My man, I don't know who he is, but I'm just saying. I ain't met him, but I don't know who he is, because I don't want somebody to watch this and think I'm taken. I am not, okay? I am not, but I'm just saying, he out here setting boundaries. He out here ignoring every come through text, and I pray that over his life every time I pray for my husband, that he out here resisting it. And I feel like my husband praying for me. That's why, you know what I'm saying, I'm still single, because he like, Lord, don't let her get into nothing until I get her. So I believe that my husband is praying that for me, because I'm praying the same thing for him. So you got to get back into yourself. Get back into the thing. Get back to who you were before you got in there. But going back to who you were, you need to go back with some worth. Because you don't want to take the same self-worth that you have right now into anything else. Like, you know, when you get back to yourself, you don't want to take, like I said, those insecurities. You don't want to take the lies that he told you, or the lies that the enemy told you. He told you that's all you deserved. That's all you was worth. You ain't gonna get no good man. That's what the enemy telling you. You ain't gonna get no good man. Like, you ratchet. Like, every lie, anything that the enemy tells you is a lie. If he say you are, you not. If he say you not, you are. Everything he say, you just say the opposite. So if you say it that I ain't worth it, I know I'm worth it. If you say I'm worth being treated the way I am, I know I ain't worth being treated like that. Everything that he says to you, about you, is a lie. So you got to get back to yourself. Get back caught up in yourself. Get back caught up in, you know what? What am I really looking for? What was my standards before I got caught up in this situation? What did I not settle for before I got caught up in this situation? What was I doing before I not got caught up in this situation? Before I not got caught up in this situation, I was praying every day. You know, I was going to church. I was trying to be better. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to be celibate, you know, because I feel like everybody can be born a virgin. Every day you wake up, you ain't had sex, so you born again. You feel what I'm saying? Every day is a new day to walk free. And if anybody ever told you that, it's not, they are lying. Every day I wake up, it's a fresh start. I don't care what I did the night before. I don't care what I did. I don't care what I said. When I wake up in the new morning, thank you, God, for waking me up this morning. This is my fresh start. I pray I'm led by you and not my emotions. Today is yours. Use me how you want to use me. Because it's my fresh start. But the enemy will tell me because I did such and such last night, or I said such and such last night, or I made it, whatever you might have did the night before, he's saying that that's what you got to live in. But I live in new life every day. I'm renewing my mind every day. And the Bible talks about that. It's a constant renewal of the mind. So the other thing that what you need to get caught up in is your purpose. Y'all, the moment I really started, I'm like, you know what? The moment I really let loose of this situationship is when I really was like, you know what? I got stuff to do. I got assignments. God ain't told me to do too much for me to be worried about a man. I got too much to do to be worried about what you doing. I got too much on my plate to keep getting focused on you. I can't raise you and me. I am not your mama, okay? I can't raise both of us. You feel me? I'm trying to figure it out for myself. And that's what I want to focus on, God. I want to focus on what you called me to do. I want to focus on what you put me on this earth to do. I know what you put me on this earth to do. I know my purpose. And if you don't know your purpose, that's even more reason of why you should not be getting caught up in anything, because you need to figure out why God put you on this earth. Because if you don't know your purpose, you're going to let somebody else identify it for you. You're going to let somebody else create a purpose for you. And you need to figure out who you are and what your identity is. Who are you? And once I know who I am, and I'm just so thankful that I figured that out, because I never want no man to tell me who I am. You can give me suggestions. You can push me closer towards my purpose. You can give me suggestions on how to go harder in my purpose. But you can never tell me what my purpose is, because God told me my purpose. He laid my purpose out. He laid that foundation clear. He laid that blueprint out, and I know my purpose, so I'm able to identify when somebody comes in that goes against it. I'm able to know that if this man is for my purpose or if he isn't. I know you're not a part of my purpose when I mentioned the first thing about no sex. You ain't for that. I know the first time I tell you, like, well, hey, like, you know, I want to go give this weekend. I want to go, you know, let's go feed some homeless people. Man, they what they homeless for? What we got? Honey, we supposed to serve. Okay. You feel me? Like, that's what we called to do as believers, to serve. So anything that goes against servanthood, I know you ain't a part of my purpose. Now, granted, you know, everybody's purpose is different. So, you know, you just have to, I'm just naming the basic things. You know, if you ain't displaying the fruits of the Spirit, you going against my purpose. Like, it's so many things that I think that we just have to identify. And the only way you're going to identify that is getting caught up in God. 3 things: caught up in God, caught up in yourself, and caught up in purpose. Those are the 3 things we need to get caught up on. And the more you get caught up on God, and the more you get caught up on yourself, and the more you get caught up on your purpose, you won't be caught up in anything with somebody emotionally, physically, and what was the other one? Mentally. You won't be caught up in it. So it's 3. That's how we counter those 3 things. You caught up with somebody mentally, what I need to do? Get caught up with God, get caught up with yourself, get caught up with your purpose. You focus on those 3 things, your mind ain't going to even have room to focus on him. Your mind ain't going to even have room to be focused on the situationship that you caught up in. You caught up physically. Oh, you really got to get caught up with God, because that's the only one that's going to break them soul ties. Spending time with him, filling yourself up, filling your spirit up is what's really going to help you not be filled up with all that other stuff. Because now you finna start feeling that conviction. So now when they come through, text come through. Now you finna start feeling convicted. Now you're going to be hearing the voice of the Holy Spirit like, don't do it. Don't go. Now you finna be hearing that subtle voice. Because if you're so caught up physically, that voice starts to fade away. Because you can't hear it because you're so full of sin. You know, you're so full of things that are not of God. Like, you're not going to hear that voice. So fill yourself up with God. Now you kind of not being caught up physically no more. You kind of breaking it. You don't even got a desire to, I don't want to do that. You just lose your desire. And then finally, caught up emotionally. How do you get your emotions intact? God, spending more time with yourself, and chasing your purpose. Them 3 things, I guarantee you, that is how I am able to break free of the situationship that I was in. That's how I'm able to completely be free from it. And it feels so good. You know you free when it's just like, man, like, you just, I'm just trying to figure out how I can explain it. You know you free, number 1, when you could talk about it. Number 2, you ain't mad. It ain't no bitterness. You ain't even mad at the person. Like, it's just like, man, I just pray you reach where God has called you to be. That's my prayer for you, because you couldn't get it right with me, but I pray you get it right for another woman, because I never want her to experience what I experienced. That's how you know you free, because you don't want another woman to see that. I mean, to feel what you went through, because you knew how bad that hurt you, so you don't want nobody else going through that. And then you're not mad when they with somebody. And another way you know you free is because you just say to yourself, God, if he ain't it, I can't wait to see who is. Because I just knew he was it. I felt he was it. So if he ain't it, Lord, I can't wait to see who you got for me. I can't wait to see who it is. Because I know he going to be everything that you said he's supposed to be. And God, I want to be everything for him that I'm supposed to be. So I need time to get myself together. I need time focusing and studying that Proverbs 31 and understanding the character of that woman, how she was a woman of noble character, and how she was a woman that was clothed with strength and dignity. Like, that's the woman I'm trying to be. And how you going to be there and you caught up in somebody else? You can't even focus on you because you so caught up in that. You caught up in him. You caught up in his problems. You caught up in his situation. Caught up in his demons. Shoot, you trying to fight his demons and your demons whooping your butt. Instead of, you know what I'm saying? So my encouragement to y'all for being caught up is always remember those 3 things: God, yourself, and your purpose. God first. He will direct your path. If it sounds a little funny and you feeling like, Lord, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, always remember Proverbs 3:5-6, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding, because your own understanding, it don't make sense sometimes. And in all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. So acknowledging him in all your ways, meaning mentally caught up, physically caught up, emotionally caught up. And the goal is to always get spiritually caught up with somebody first before you do any of the rest. Because once you spiritually caught up with somebody, that sets the foundation. So when you spiritually caught up with them, if you right spiritually caught up with them, you ain't gonna get physically caught up with them. That shouldn't happen. So that's my word for y'all. I'm gonna turn off my camera because I don't want the rest to